Hey, welcome back to Munchkin Forever. Let's roll. Yeah, 3. Alright, I'm fucking dead. Alright. So today is Munchkin Pathfinder 2. And there's a lot of cool things about this and a lot of missed opportunities with this expansion. So first, we're gonna go over. Now, there's plenty of other monsters in the deck. But let's go over our goblins, because last time we went over in the first Pathfinder, and we saw how many goblins there were. So let's go through this goblin list, because we got a few new ones. You know, we got Nog Goblin, little Santa Goblin. It's cute. Pop Goblin, oh, a little old man. This is Grandpa Yoda instead of Baby Yoda. One day we'll find Grandpa Yoda. This is Knob Goblin. He's got his little kind of magician's attire, or fancy attire, or old classy attire. You know, all those things we associate with said attire. We've got a Log Goblin. Oh, that's adorable. He's a little guy who cuts down all the trees. You know. Deforests nations. And we've got another goblin, because you know, you just need more goblins in your life. So that's it on the goblins. I have 2 little humorous cards. I really liked this monster. I liked that it was ooh, it's a little out of focus. Oh no, I can't pick it up. It's a plum pudding, and it's so tasty and deadly. +3 against any munchkin who has food on the game table. I like this card, and one thing I really like about this card is it's a level 11, so, you know, most of the time we do have some food on the game table. Obviously, you know, sometimes we don't have it on the game table, we have it off to the side, so I hate that, but saves the cards from getting ruined. But, you know, if it's +3, it's going to be a level 14, and that's more of a challenge, and I always like a little bit of challenge. There's tons of level 1 monsters out there, and a challenge is always acceptable. And here's cute little treasure, Dagger of Doubling. So this dagger cannot be lost to curses or bad stuff, and even if you sell it, you get it back at the end of your turn. So it's only 100 gold, which kind of sucks. I feel like it should be a little bit more. I feel like it should be like 300, because 300 is usually a good number for you to sell. But you know what? It always comes back. So if you're 100 off, you're gonna have a good time. And there's always what was I saying? There was one class, the Alchemist, can sell things for double. So you could sell this for 200 and sell a couple other things and make a ton of money if you are an alchemist. And one of the fun things about Munchkin Pathfinder 2 is, if we look at the name of it, it's called Guns and Razzes. So we have 2 new factions. We have the Rasmarian Vision faction, which is awesome, although a little weird of a name. It's got the ability to draw a face-down treasure whenever another player sells items to level up, which can be pretty awesome for you and really awesome for no one else, because you are getting all those curses. You're getting actually, curses aren't treasures, my bad, but you're gonna get lots of treasure that way, because you know, it happens all the time. And I love it. I love this faction. It's a pretty helpful faction. I would love it if it was every time another player got some treasure, you got treasure. But perhaps that would have been a little too OG. But I don't mind OG cards, because if everybody gets an OG card, then you've got a game going. So, and then we also have the Gunslinger class. So it's not a faction, which I'm a little disappointed on, but I guess that's just a technical term. Each gun you have equipped has an extra +2 bonus. Oh yeah, and there's guns now in the game. So I forgot to mention that. You also have another ability. When you are fighting alone, you may discard 2 cards to gain a combat bonus equal to your level. Okay, so you know, if you're level 9, you discard 2 cards, you become 18. That's actually a pretty handy ability in the late game. But my issue with the gunslinger is you get 4 of these gunslinger classes, and there's only, what, 5 guns? Yeah, so, like, I think my issue with it is there should have been way more guns to make the gunslinger a really, really awesome thing to want to play as. Because if you're not, if you're playing, like, a deck of, like, I don't know how many, including this expansion and the original, it will be, but, there will be a ton of cards, and finding 5 guns in, like, 200 cards might be a little tough. So I think this pack, and kind of the bad part about guns and Razzes is that there just wasn't enough guns, in my opinion, and there's going to be a Munchkin Pathfinder free 3 coming out. It's not free, and it's going to be more of a dungeon pack, and I don't think there's going to be any guns that come with it, so I think they kind of lost an opportunity. They could make a little, like, $5 expansion for guns. That'd be pretty cool. There's already some kind of, like, little cheap more goblin expansion too for Pathfinder, so I don't see why they couldn't make, like, oh, here's, like, 10, 15 more guns, because honestly that would make it so much more worthwhile to be a gunslinger. It's really just the luck of the draw now, no pun intended, but seriously, there's not enough guns. But let's go through the guns. +5 bonus fire lance. This is a fire flame attack. Again, a lot of these elemental attacks really have no purpose. It would be kind of nice if there was, like, an elemental more, like, if it was more often. I'm sure there's some monsters where it does more damage or whatnot too, or does less damage. I'm not really sure, but that's a 2-handed weapon, so it's a pretty good bonus, but your hands are full. +2 bonus fire drake pistol. This is a fire flame attack, another fire one, but this is a 1-hander. I like this card a lot. I like the pepper box. +3 bonus. Yeah, I love the style of the firearm. We've got pistol of the infinite sky, usable by gunslinger only. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, why aren't all these usable by the gunslinger only? But like, I mean, it's kind of like they're all the guns that come with this pack. It kind of makes sense. Like, why wouldn't, shouldn't all of these be usable by the gunslinger only? Because then they would be a little bit more valuable. The class would be a little bit more valuable because you're collecting all these guns. And I think the class should be able to use more than one gun, something like maybe like a quick draw effect. Like he or she can use 5 guns at once because they're just flipping back and forth through their array. I think that's kind of the issue with this whole thing, is it's kind of a missed opportunity, if you will, towards making something really fun and ridiculous and very Munchkin-like. And then we also have the axe musket, which is a +3 bonus, and it uses 2 hands. I think if it uses 2 hands, it should be a little bit more than 3, but it's also what you pick up and what you can use. That's also why I think the gunslinger should have a quick draw ability that makes a little bit more sense with the character and the new guns. And I think the guns should only be usable by the gunslinger, because then those 5 cards have rare value to them that only the gunslinger can use. And add more guns, add more guns, add more items that can only be used by certain factions or classes, because that adds a whole new layer to things. A big thing in the original Munchkin was that you could trade items with people, and that was a big deal because there'd be like an elf sword that only an elf could use, and maybe you're a dwarf and you're like, oh, but he's got that dwarf item that I can use. Let's do that. So I think, a lot of missed opportunities and kind of a strange idea of planning for Munchkin. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this expansion. It adds a lot of much needed monsters and abilities and some fun new faction and an interesting class. It needs more guns, but other than that, it's a pretty fun pack. I guess I would give it maybe an 8 out of 10, 3.8 out of 5 or something, just because I feel like there's a couple of missed opportunities, but overall, I do think it added a lot to my Pathfinder. I think it did make the game a lot more fun and added some interesting twists. Munchkin Pathfinder 3 is coming out, and it's going to add dungeons. Dungeons make the game even longer, which, because there's more statistics. If you're in a dungeon, things are going to change stat-wise. So I'm not sure if I want to invest in it, but at this point, I have 1, I have 2. I think it would be very cool to see another review and play through 3 and just see, does it add anything more? Because 2 definitely added something. But is it my all-time favorite expansion? No, unfortunately. I think that they should release a little guns pack, and then maybe I can say 2 in this guns pack. Perfect idea. All right, but thank you so much for watching. Me, myself, and I at Munchkin Forever, and all the people who support me, I guess now we at Munchkin Forever are having a fun time playing Munchkin every so often when we finally get a chance. And myself, I love sharing these packs, and everyone else, keep having fun with your Munchkin games and enjoy. And this is a purchase decision that you can make.